$3,971,014,357 to $4,872,797,867. And obviously you see that as a big increase. We know that as the Board of Equalization sat through 170 protests this year. With that being said, the levy last year was 0.213943, and the levy this year is 0.178009. Now that levy is for those parcels that are involved in the ambulance also that we tax for ambulance, where, for instance, in the city of York, we pay for the ambulance, so there is no taxing for county ambulance here. It's just for the residents that do not have that service. So when we look at the levy without the ambulance is 0.170622. So that's right around a 3-cent levy decrease over last year. And then the tax rate, if we was to look at this budget this year compared to last year's valuation, would be 0.171046. So those are kind of the highlights of the meeting as we need to present. Those are the big changes within this budget year. I will tell you that ARPA funding we're almost out of. ARPA funding has done a lot of infrastructure. We will finish up this fall, hopefully in the next few weeks, with our last paving project. So the $2.3 million that we received from the federal government was utilized in that way to save taxpayer monies. Also utilized in this budget, as I mentioned before, is not only federal forfeiture money, but inheritance money. We were planning a $750,000 cash reserve move to the general fund. We clawed that back by about $150,000 to get us to the 4% that we felt like we could live with for tax increase on property tax request. And once again, I look at them as services rendered. There's a lot of these services we have no choice in doing, and so this is the cost of business for the county. So once again, are we rolling now? Okay, yeah. We are out there. If anybody would like to step forward at this point in time and speak to this, they are more than welcome to. If any of the other commissioners would like to speak, I guess you could do too. We will leave it open for another 4 or 5 minutes.
I think we did where we could. We trimmed a fair bit. There's some line item or funds or functions within the general. Some of the other funds that we hit fairly hard. But I think that where we could, we did pretty good to limit our spending. Are we perfect? No, but we did pretty good. One of the bigger funds, obviously, is the roads department. Personnel-wise, we're going to operate a little bit leaner than we have in the past, but I think we can do that.
Just in case there's any latecomers, we'll wait just a couple more minutes. The idea to move the meeting to 6 o'clock was obviously to allow more people an opportunity to come see us, whereas our 8:30 meetings sometimes in the morning are not advantageous to the working. So We tried this a few years ago. About the same result turned out, and, we'll keep trying the best we can. Everything. We got any viewers?
What's that?
We got any viewers?
Got 4 of them the last time I looked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, are we up against Huskers?
No.
No?
6:30.
6:30? Just barely up against them.
It goes to 7:30.
We'll try to rush through the meeting, Andy.
If we get done early, I'm going to go back to football.
Okay. Okay, at this point in time, I will close the public hearing. And we will adjourn as this Board of Commissioners. Next up, we will convene once again as the Board of Commissioners. Roll call, please.
Groats,
Present.
Ott,
Here.
Bowman,
Present.
Obermeyer.
Here.
And absent Burgess. Okay.
He is on his way.
Okay.
Okay, so he'll be late.
Yeah, it was on his calendar wrong.
Okay, open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers. It is also in the hallway outside of our chambers. Once again, is also on our website. Proof of publication was in the News Times the September 11th, and on our website, it was posted September 5th. Review and approve the minutes of our previous meeting for September 2nd.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions, discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Groats,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Adopt today's agenda.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Ott,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Groats,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Officials forum. Any official that may want to come forward? Good evening, Harvey.
Good evening, everyone. Harvey Kine, York County Highway Superintendent. Kind of the normal stuff that's going on, still hauling gravel, still blading roads. We are starting to mow some of the mowing the blacktop, starting to mow some of the outlying roads, stay ahead of the potential for snow. Pre-con meeting, Wednesday after last meeting, there's machines sitting out on Southwest Nobes Road. There's a milling machine and another one, I'm not quite sure what that is. Supposedly they're gonna start tomorrow, but I don't see any signage put up there because they need to close one lane of 81 when they're doing this. The first 150 feet, they're going to completely tear out on Southwest Nobes Road, and then they will build it up so it'll shed water, and then they will go back to milling and paving the rest. They were out today marking all the places that need pulled up and dug out and patched before they go in with the milling machine.
Okay.
So that
Here we
is
go.
going forward.
Good.
Now, with a little luck and Mother Nature working, couple, 3 weeks. They were talking to, I'm gonna go another 1 week because we know how things are.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Especially this week. It looks like it's coming again.
Yes. So anyway,
Okay. Any questions of Harv?
You said they're gonna build that up. We had put some French drains or something in there to
Yes.
try and help. Will they?
they will stay in.
Okay, yeah. Good.
They're just gonna take the surface out.
I
We
see.
may have to haul a little rock in there to help get the elevation correct.
Yep.
Harvey, can you kind of talk through, it's like 4 projects, how they're gonna stage through those?
Well, supposedly we're gonna do, Southwest Oaks Road, and we're gonna go across the highway and do Country Club Avenue. I believe they are then go out to 25th Street and then finish up on Road G.
Okay.
That's kind of the way it was talked.
They're not setting up a plant, they're hauling in
No, they're gonna be hauling it in from Waverly.
Waverly.
This summer, they was hauling asphalt 3 hours and 20 minutes to where they were dumping it.
Really?
So,
I suppose setting up one of those plants is a little expensive too, so.
yes.
One other thing, you are in conversation with them about fixing our culvert issue on the Waco Blacktop, just.
Yes, I have still I still have not gotten an estimate on it.
Yeah.
We did talk about it at the pre-con of doing that, trying to get that dip taken care of.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Art.
You got
Any other officials this evening? Good evening, Alex.
Good evening. Alex Sadoff with the York County Visitors Bureau. I just wanted to say we had some really good turnout for our community events that have happened in the last couple weeks. The Wessels rededication had over 100 people just come to the church service itself. We are rounding up at the end of our big tourist time, and our digital campaigns are going super well. We're getting about 3,000 or 30,000 impressions a month. Most of those are from the state of Nebraska, but we have really branched out into the Kansas and South Dakota demographics to try to get some more out-of-state visitors. And so I just wanted to share that with you tonight.
Okay. Any questions of Alex while she's sitting there? See you in the morning,
See you in the morning, bright and
7
early.
o'clock, yeah. Any other officials? Seeing nobody else get up, we will move into the public comment time. Public may step forward at this time if they'd like and give a comment if they wish to.
Willard Peterson, 514 Road 13. My address is York, Nebraska. I'm a proud resident of the Bradshaw area. Ask the Postal Service why my address is York, because I have and they don't care. Anyway, I was looking forward to this 6 o'clock meeting because I don't do 8:30 in the morning too good. Well, this ain't a whole lot better. It probably has something to do with a 2-hour nap I accidentally took this afternoon, but whatever. Okay, I want to thank you guys for what you worked on with the budget, because I was here through all of it. And I think you really did try to do what you could do. You also made a comment about whether you were doing this just so you didn't have to have a pink postcard meeting, or whether you were truly trying to cut stuff back. I think it was a little of both. I also think you didn't want to have a postcard meeting, but whatever. I've been to I was to another meeting last night that was quite enlightening, and I think it goes toward what the climate's going to be in the taxpaying public here coming up, and for everybody. And because every entity that's a tax collecting entity has the exact same problem. You're under so many rules and regulations that what are you going to do? And yet people are getting fed up with paying taxes, and I get that. But money's got to come from somewhere. So what I've been trying to do is, I've gone to hearings at the state capitol. I've testified at 1 or 2 of them, and I've gone to other places and talked to people, and that's what we have to do. And too many people I'm hearing at these meetings go to these meetings one time a year, but they don't put any effort in anywhere else. And what I'm trying to say out to the public, it takes us all. We all got to get on people. And that's what we need to do. Okay? So I don't like what you did with the budget, but you did what you could.
Thank you, Willard.
That's my opinion.
Anybody else from the public?
Yes, we have one. We have a assistant.
Seeing nobody else get up, we will close the public comment session and move on. There is a need for executive session for general assistance. We will hold that to the end of the meeting, and not ask everybody to leave right now. So we can move on to funding transfers. There are none. Payroll and vendor claims. Everybody have an opportunity to look through those. Anybody have any questions?
Nothing jumped out. No. Move to approve payroll and vendor claims.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Groats,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, next up, we need to discuss an act on resolution setting the property tax request. Obviously, the property tax request is stated before. $8,674,007.87 to run the services of the county for the 25-26 budget year. Gentlemen, any discussion on this topic? As we break that down, the general fund is $7,508,807.30. The highway bond that we did in 2020, that's a 10-year bond for $8 million, is $805,295. And then, once again, the ambulance service that we contract with the city of York for the ambulance, and that is paid by the taxpayers that do not have or do not pay that fee to another entity, is $359,905.57 for that grand total of $8,674,007.87. And this is done by resolution.
Motion to adopt resolution for setting property tax request for 25-26.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? It was, you always wonder if you start the budget too early, or if you don't, what you do, it seems like it does come down to that final month of August before we really get down to the hard numbers. I know the budget committee did talk, and we're looking at taking a very little break this year and coming back together and trying to find ways that we can utilize tightening of the belt, so to speak, and see what we can do. As we've said here, there are a lot of these services, we have no choice in this. We have to provide these services that are handed down by the state, and maybe it's to shed some light on that also. But I do think that there are some places that obviously could use a little bit more work, and we will work on them just a little bit longer this next year, and we'll see where we go. But for right now, that is where we're at. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Groats,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Next up, we need to discuss an act on resolution of adoption and appropriations of the budget. We have the tax request, and now we have the budget that's in front of us. And once we approve that budget, then those monies, when they come in, are expendable by our elected officials and by us as we see. So this is to set that appropriation for the budget that, once again, we do have 3 copies up here. This is the expenditure side of it. All 70 some pages, wasn't it? Or was it a little bit more than that? 89 pages. And once again, this is by resolution.
Motion to adopt resolution for appropriations of budget 25-26.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Groats,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, next up, we were going to discuss an act on sheriff's overtime hours and amending the handbook. Josh or Paul, both of you going to talk to it? One of you going to talk to it? Get you both up here?
Sheriff Burke here.
Josh Gillespie, York County Sheriff's Office.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
So we are asking the board, and as
Thank you.
we are asking the board, as we have spoken in the past at the last few meetings, we're asking for a change to the handbook in order to go from 86 hours in a 14-day period for overtime for our law enforcement and corrections officers, and change that to 80 hours in a 14-day pay period. That would be a change to a single paragraph in section 3.5 of the handbook, 3.5 of the handbook. And so that would be the change that we would be asking for today.
And I know we've talked about this, but I'm just going to get you to, say it publicly once again, this is a budgeted expense. You went through and
Yes.
figured that because overtime is part of your department, just the way it works.
Correct, yes. This was a budgeted item. This was something that we talked about in budget hearings and other hearings as well, something that we were requesting for our employees to equalize it across the board with the rest of the county employees. It's something that I think the board has worked extremely hard on to go through and to make things fair for the employees across the board. And I think this is one of the things that we saw that we wanted to have changed that I think would make it more fair for the law enforcement and for our corrections staff.
And Josh, I know you're a numbers person and you play with them, just like I do. How did this affect, do you remember off the top of your head how this affected your budget?
So it affected our budget. It was somewhere around, I think it was $17,000 in the sheriff's office budget was what it actually increased.
Okay.
And we figured it a little bit on the high side to make sure that we had enough money budgeted for it so that we didn't miss, but we calculated a little bit higher than that.
Okay. Thank you, Josh.
How are you staffed right now?
We're one short.
One short?
Yep.
We currently have 2 that are in training, field training, and we've got 1 that is at the training center. So functionally right now, we feel a lot shorter than that. We're still feeling that pinch of going through and having people be trained. Obviously, we have to train them up. There's requirements that we have to meet in order for our staff to be ready to go out there and work on their own. And so we have 2 right now that are riding with other officers, and we think they're doing a great job. They're obviously progressing along, but we can't put them out too soon. And then we've got 1 at the academy, and then we'll also have to go through field training as well. And then we have the 1 open position.
After all those are,
After all of those are done, correct?
you're still missing one.
Correct, yep.
Thank you.
Sheriff, how are we sitting for staffing and corrections?
We're full staff right now
We are.
in corrections. Yeah.
Feels like not too long ago, we were 2 down or maybe even 3.
Yeah, just, keeping our fingers crossed, so to speak, yeah.
So basically, this is a discuss and act, and this is the way it was written, but what we are actually changing is just the handbook, amending the handbook. So we'll, as Josh pointed out, is section 3.5 that we would need to amend.
Yep, and the amendment simply would be changing the number 86 to the number 80.
Right.
So that's the functional change that would happen in the handbook, and that would then change when our employees start to receive overtime. And I would recommend that we probably do that at the start of a pay period for the ease of the clerk's office.
Yeah, I would say it would probably be the best to do it like we do with all the raises, you know, which is what, the first pay period in October, I believe.
Correct.
If that
That sounds.
sounds good to you guys. Okay, any other questions of gentlemen?
The only question, remind me, statute, allows, what is the, for law enforcement?
Yeah, so,
So right now we're at 86 because that's allowed by statute.
correct.
What is that range?
So there are lots of different ranges that this board can choose. And the board chose years ago to go to 86 in 2 hours, in 2 weeks, sorry. 86 in 2 was what they chose. There's also, I've seen all sorts of different variations.
Okay.
171 in 4 is an option, but it's all under the Fair Labor Standard Act is what it's under. So it's a federal requirement that is being met. And
Sure.
so you can go as far as 86 in 2, but you couldn't go to like 90 in 2
I
because it's,
see, right.
but so you can go less than. And so a lot of
correct.
law enforcement agencies have gone to, this 80 and 2
Yep.
as a benefit to law enforcement. And that's what it is. So it's just a little different than your regular workers. Obviously, we
Right.
work different hours too. So it's just one of those things that I think that this puts us closer to what the rest of the employees have. So the other variations could be 43 and 1, 40 and 1. There's all sorts of different variations that they have spelled out, but it's based on that calculation in the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Okay, and you touched on it, I was gonna, my next comment, but you stated it for me. That this really, it's an extra benefit that makes
Right.
York County attractive to candidates and to those that are currently working for us.
And what we're seeing is this is what a lot of the agencies have actually done. When we did our wage study, I think it was somewhere in the 60 or 70% of the agencies had gone to this level. That's what they're doing. And it's just, like I said, it's a benefit directly to the employees.
I'd be in favor of this. Obviously, you talked about that it's budgeted and everything, and we've been talking about that for a lot of weeks now. And I have had experience with a job before making a change and actually making it possible to get overtime at this job that was at. And I will say that the impact on morale was pretty huge at that one. I don't know how comparable it would really be here, but I imagine that it would be some, so.
Very good.
Okay,
I'm all right with it.
any other comments? Once again, looking for a motion to amend the handbook to go, from 86 to 80 hours for the sheriff's department.
Do we know, when we're dealing with the handbook, does it have to be a resolution or is it just a motion to amend?
I'm thinking just a motion to amend, Mary, I would guess.
Sure. I'll look into it if we have to do a resolution.
Does it matter if I make it a
You
resolution?
can make it a
You
resolution.
can make it a
Yeah.
resolution.
Just do that, so we don't have to do it again.
That's kind of what I thought.
Don't make that mistake.
I will make a motion that we adopt a resolution amending the handbook for law enforcement activities, changing the term from 86 in 14 to 80 hours in 14 in regards to overtime pay.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now that he made a resolution, he can write the resolution too.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was just thinking in my head, whereas.
We need to have the effective date.
sure. Effective with the first pay period in October 2025.
Thank you. Okay,
Second.
Oh, I think
Leroy got it. He beat you.
he,
He's,
Seconded.
I'll second the
Amended.
okay, any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Groats,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
and Obermeyer.
Yes, okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
I appreciate it.
Have a great evening. Okay, next up, we need to discuss and act on adopting a resolution striking uncollectible property tax from the tax list. As you see in the resolution in your packet, there were 3 properties that were on there. One was a mobile home. I believe the other 2 were personal property. And this, to my understanding, my conversation with Megan was this does not relieve this tax debt. It strikes it from the list, so the sheriff's department doesn't have to try to collect where they haven't been able to collect this. So that is the three that we have there in front of us. And this is by resolution.
Motion to adopt resolution striking said parcels uncollectible property tax from the tax list.
Thank you.
I will second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Groats,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. And with my talk with Megan, the next on the agenda, it says to discuss and act on the distress warrants.
That's not.
Discuss and act on 2023 distress warrants. She said this is really an informational piece. So what I'll ask for is just a motion to accept this document into the meeting. But it's merely for informational, because you see the three parcels at the bottom are the ones that we just acted on now, and then the unsatisfied. So this will be just a motion to accept the treasurer's report on this.
Most, make a motion to accept the treasurer's delinquent personal property tax report.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ott,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Groats,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, and one of the final orders of business, not the final order, but one of the final orders of business is to discuss and act on adopt a resolution to conduct a special election. The clerk's office, the election office will do for the recall of Commissioner District 2, Leroy Ott Jr. So as we know, the numbers were turned in and the numbers were correct to warrant this. And I will have Mary discuss this just a little bit about the timing, because it gets confusing about the Fridays and state statute and that. So I'll let you discuss that just a little bit, if you would, Mary, please.
So the time frame that I need for this election to take place is 8 Fridays after the resolution. We were looking at November 11th, but that is a holiday. We could have it the week before, however, that does not give us enough Fridays. So we have to go a month later. State statute, it has to be the second Tuesday after the first Monday. So we are looking at December 9th. So December 10th. Is that right?
No, 9th.
Ninth.
Second
It
Tuesday,
was,
December 9th.
yeah, December 9th would be the election day. That gives us enough time to get our agenda to the state, request an all-mail election. It is more cost-effective to have an all-mail election. The state will give us permission whether we can have it or not. Then that gives us enough time to prepare the ballot, order the ballots, order the envelopes. If we can't have an election by mail, then that gives us enough time to get the polls set, hire employees, again, get the ballots. So we are looking at in December, that gives us plenty of time to get everything organized. Just because the first week in November is not, the first Tuesday in November is not enough time for us.
Any questions of Mary?
Oh, I guess, it doesn't really matter. What's the statute again? It has to be the second Tuesday after the first Monday?
Correct. And I believe that is in,
Is that in this?
yes.
In paragraph 2, I'm guessing, the governing body.
Yes, you have 21 days after the receipt to get me a resolution for the recall. And then 3205 special election when held. That's the Tuesday following the next Monday.
Tuesday following the second Monday of the selected month.
Correct.
So it isn't the fact that the date,
32/3/28/3 Friday proceedings, 15 days. Oh, there's so many statutes on my sheet.
Right. So it shall be held on the first Tuesday following the second Monday of the selected month. Except that if that day falls upon a legal holiday, the election shall be held on the first Tuesday following the first Monday. I see, okay.
but
that's
then
why-
that doesn't give us
Yeah.
Fridays.
It wasn't adding up, but it does now.
Okay. We could have it the week before
Right, exactly, because of the holiday.
because of the
But that
holiday,
don't give us the-
but that doesn't
Yep,
give me
got
enough
it. Okay,
time.
alright. Took me a while, but I got there.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so what we need to do is to adopt a resolution, essentially instructing the election commissioner to hold this special election and at the dates that she's talked about. And I believe you said the ballots will go out 30 days ahead of time.
Actually, the ballots will go out, between November 17th and December 1st,
Okay, so just a couple weeks ahead of time.
3 weeks ahead of
Okay.
time.
And then with the mail ballot, they have to be received back in here.
Our deadline would be December 9th at 5 p.m.
Not postmarked, but delivered.
delivered.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have,
we can't accept any after.
the box will be
Yep.
utilized up until that time
Mhm.
for weekends and stuff
Yep.
like that. And just like any other election period, then during the election period, only Mary will have access to the box, not
Box.
like it is throughout the rest of the year.
So people can deliver them directly to the court.
Correct. They can deliver them directly to the election office, put them in the box, mail them back in.
But they have to be received here by.
They have to be received in our hand by 5 p.m.
And then the count will happen that
Then the
night,
count will happen that night.
after
correct.
5:01 or whatever it is, it'll happen that night. Okay,
All right. Move to adopt a resolution to conduct a special election for the recall of Commissioner District 2, Leroy Ott Jr.
Second.
thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion?
Did you put a date in there? Or do we have to
I don't think we need
instruct
to.
a date or
To
just?
instruct the date.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
No. I'm kidding. Abstain.
abstain. Groats
Yes.
and Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay. We are down to committee reports and then we do need to go into executive sessions for general assistance. So while we still have the crowd, go ahead with committee reports. Joe, do you got anything?
I actually don't have a committee report, but I would like to apologize to you guys and to, of course, all of you guys and my constituents for being late. I put it in my calendar as 6:30, and at that point, it was locked in for 6:30, so only God knows why I did that, but I'm sorry for everyone for being late to this, so. I have send on Thursday, but
Thank you, Joe. Andy?
We did have a safety committee meeting last week down here in the basement. Did not get a chance to do the inspection of the courthouse. Brian was unable to attend, so probably have another one in December and get that. The things we did talk about were road safety, mainly with harvest coming on, was a big topic. Did talk about traffic influx on the weekends with Nebraska football, things of that nature. Of course, we had a few injuries to discuss, and I think those were all publicized by Melanie. So, I was unable to attend last Tuesday, but there was another historical association meeting. Big loot is planned for the weekend of the 28th, I believe.
Right.
So get downtown. We did have an open house at York Fest. There's a ton of people in through the doors to that, so that was really neat. So that's coming along nicely. Other than that, that's really all I got.
Leroy?
Had aging and transit meeting and discussed a lot of the things that we put into effect for her as far as the cost of riding the vans and such in town, out of town. So they also elected a new chairman. So I'd like to thank Willard for serving his year as the chairman of that committee.
Right, 5 years.
So 5. Okay, I was only on it once so far. Also had Region 5 and a PACE meetings and just basically discussing how they're doing so far, since this was the first. They have meetings every 2 months, but they don't have them like in May, June, July, August. They start again in September, and then it'll be every other month. So it's kind of how they've been doing during the summer. From that, they asked me to be on a BHAC committee, and it's opioid settlement money that Region 5 is given to use, and they have $650,000 to delve out to different communities, programs to help with opioids. And Region 5, which we are in, our county, is 16 counties. It goes straight down the line from Polk, York, and then east through Lincoln, and then into the southeast. It doesn't go up to Omaha and Plattsmouth. But it's those 16 counties. And hopefully, Four Corners will be getting some of that money because Dr. Hotterby and Laura McDougall put in a really good request for some money. And they had, just like we have, they had a record number of requests for money this year because of budgets being cut, because money went away. But the one thing that really surprised me is every one of them put down that grant money was also going away. Grant money that people just give away, not just what the state gives. So not only is the state giving less to all these programs, but the people that just give money are giving less. So it's a really good committee to be on because I get a visit with 15 other county commissioners before we have the meeting even about what's going on in your county. So that's all I got.
Daniel?
So the YCDC exec board met, discussed a multitude of things. We're in a good position there. The full YCDC board will meet next Tuesday. We continued to have discussions with the roads department. Andy and I met with all of the roads employees following last 2 weeks ago meeting, had a good discussion with all of them. So I think that went well. Ashley's working on a new project accounting and asset accounting software. So one that we had been using is an older program. It's no longer being supported. So we are moving to a new program there that should streamline that office. And in doing that, with some of the claims from the roads department, we'll be transitioning over to using MIPS in that office as well. So that should streamline some of the work in the clerk's office on those claims as well. So hopefully that all comes together the way we hope it does.
Got everything?
That's all I got.
Okay, Joe, kind of piggybacking on your comments a little bit, I'd like to apologize to the board. After the last meeting that went, fairly long, Daniel and myself met with Mary, and we picked a time at 6 o'clock. Daniel went on to a reunion of sorts the next few days, and I went the next day and had a hip taken out and replaced. And unfortunately, we did not do a good job of relating to the rest of the commissioners of the time change, and I apologize for that. We had tried this a few years ago to try a 6 o'clock meeting and to see if we could get some more people here. And, we got a few here. I don't know if we got as many as I'd always like to see, but we got a few here. So,
That may have
we'll
been
do
my
it.
fault too. I may have told my dad that it was at 6:30 as well, so. Anyway.
So, that's my fault. But now being back in the swing of things, I was at Four Corners board meeting last night, and we adopted our budget for the next year. And talking about Leroy's cuts, Four Corners the same way. We're looking at cuts, but still trying to supply the services that everybody has grown to expect. I have a 7 o'clock meeting tomorrow morning with Visitors Bureau. And then Thursday, we all get the opportunity to go to our Central District meeting in Aurora. And in that meeting, I am asking to be voted on to be on the NACO board for across the state of Nebraska, which means that if I am successful in that bid, I'm effectively announcing a little bit different than our sheriff that I will run for one more term, where our sheriff feels like he's had enough. And we thank him for the years of service that he's got. And I hope he gets plenty of thanks over the next year and a half as he finishes out his term. But we'll see how it goes this Thursday, and we'll see what decisions are made after that. So that all being said, Mary, do you have anything to add yet tonight?
No.
We do have a board of equalization, and that's for a motor vehicle. We'll come back in after
Should we just recess quick and do that quick and then come back in? Or do you want to?
We can.
Whichever.
Does everybody want to get kicked out and then come back in for a motor vehicle? It does. Willard does.
No.
Do you want to take over? You get to do it. All right, we'll recess.
And we will come in as the Board of Equalization to take care of a quick little business. Roll call, please.
Ott,
Here.
Burgess,
Present.
Bowman,
Here,
Obermeyer,
Here.
Groves.
Here. Open meetings law is posted in the back of the room as well as outside of our hallway and on the website. Proof of publication was let's see, September 5th on the website and September 11th in the newspaper. Review and approve the minutes from the August 19 Board of Equalization meeting.
move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thanks. Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. Adoption of today's agenda.
Move to adopt.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, thanks. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. Being that this is an open meeting, we do have a public forum if anybody wants to talk regarding the Board of Equalization.
That's scary.
Willard Peterson, 514 Road 13, York, Nebraska is my address. I'm from Bradshaw, and I'm proud of it. And I just wanted to think of, this year through the whole assessment of things in the county and all the protests and so forth. And I just was thinking that, everybody, it's not just you guys, it's everybody that's a taxable entity that is looking, especially counties, is looking for every penny they can get out of everybody's piece of property. Well, that's not real popular. And I get that there are laws and there are things that you have to look at, but there were a few things that really caught my attention, and that was some issues about supposedly the state changing some rules on what you can or can't. Mostly it's what you can assess now in a certain form. What I'm thinking mostly is like portable sheds and so forth. That was something that come up an awful lot. And I don't know whatever happened. If it was, you were trying to figure out if that was a mandate or it's just you could charge that, but you didn't have to. And I don't know how that turned out, but that really turned my stomach, because if you didn't have to do that and you chose to, and I'm not saying you did or didn't, I'm just saying in the general scheme of things, if you start doing that kind of stuff and scrounging every penny out of everything, which I understand you need to do because that's the way our tax system works now. And, but that's just kind of wrong. And then people come in and do protests on their, evaluations and so forth. And once in a while you do a little bit of I'll call it a break. That's not what it is, but you do find some things, and you do try to do some of that. But it just seems to me like people that really listen, you're trying to squeeze every penny, and I get that, but I don't like it. And so that's my thoughts on this whole thing. And it's going to get worse, I promise, as far as people paying attention and thinking about stuff. And I really want to share epic tax.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and move on down the agenda. In front of us, we have a application for exemption for motor vehicle tax for York University. It is a 2019 Ford E350, description to transport students to athletic and academic events. It has been marked as for recommendation of approval from the county treasurer.
Say an F-250 for hauling students to events.
E350.
Okay, I was about to say, I heard that wrong, because what? Never mind.
I think it's a large van.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say, this is not adding up.
Move to approve application for exemption for motor vehicles for York University.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. All right, we will adjourn as the Board of Equalization.
And we'll reconvene as the Board of Commissioners. And at this time, I'd ask that we go into executive session at 7:01 to prevent the needless harm and injury to any individual. And we will ask the board to stay behind along as the county attorney.
So moved.
Have a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion.
Second.
I had a so move and had a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Groves.
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Nobody
Yes.
made a word.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Thank you, Mary.
Good day.